y'all, it's Melissa from Cajun Sugar Pie, and today is Christmas Eve, so Merry Christmas, and I am going to be working through all of my Christmas Eve food. Come join me and let's get started. For Christmas food, traditionally we've done, like on Christmas Eve, we do finger foods. My mama always made a big gumbo, either seafood or chicken and sausage. Then she had potato soup for anybody that didn't want the gumbo, and then we had everybody would come and bring finger foods. So that's what we've always done for Christmas Eve, and that's what I'm doing now. Now today, we're part of the Arctic blast thing in Tennessee, and so 2 days ago we had snow and negative temperatures most of the day yesterday. Today we're in the single digits at least, but we still have snow on the ground. We may lose power because they're doing the rolling blackouts to keep the grid from collapsing. So anyway, I thought that I would go ahead and get our Christmas Eve dinner stuff done early so that, you know, if the power does go out, it'll all be done and we can just heat it up when the power comes back. Hopefully it won't go out at all, but we'll see. So I'm gonna first do some Smokies wrapped in bacon, and then you sprinkle the powdered sugar and do black pepper on them. Someone said that I should do them with skewers this time, like the barbecue skewers. So I may try it that way to keep kind of the bacon from sitting on the pan, because I know sometimes it doesn't always get brown that way. So I want it to be really brown and crunchy. And so I'm gonna try that this way this time. So we're gonna do Smokies wrapped in bacon. We're also gonna do meatballs and Smokies in a barbecue sauce. I did the meatballs a couple weeks ago and froze them, and I don't think I actually showed y'all that clip when I did them, so I'll show that to you here now. Okay, so in this bowl I have about 2.5 pounds of ground chuck, and to that I am going to add some panko breadcrumbs. I use the Ian's. They're gluten-free and free from allergens, but you can use whatever you choose for breadcrumbs. That's about half a cup. Some Worcestershire, some soy sauce, and I don't really measure. I just put it in. Mild chili powder, toasted onion powder. This is that back of the yard seasoning from Spice House that's really good. This is some garlic powder, and I'm also gonna add an egg. Parmesan cheese, oats. And so I'm gonna mix these up and make meatballs, which we're gonna have for Christmas Eve. But I'm gonna go ahead and make them, bake them, cool them, and then put them in the freezer, and so that'll be ready to go on Christmas Eve. And one less thing I have to do. Okay, so this is the bacon wrapped in Smokies, and like I said, the last time I made these, somebody suggested that I do a barbecue skewer instead of just wrapping them and putting them on the pan. That way that the bacon can kind of fry better with the air circulating around it. So that's what I'm gonna do this time. I'm gonna start, what I always do is start with some bacon, some pieces of bacon. And this is the right bacon that y'all seen me use before. And I'm just gonna cut like thirds of the bacon. So we're gonna cut the bacon in thirds. This is some pretty fatty bacon, but who doesn't love fat? So now I'm going to wrap it in the bacon, and then we're gonna skewer it through where the seam part is. So we're gonna just skewer that through. Hopefully. There we go. And then we'll go to the next one. So it'll keep the bacon on, and then it'll also, because this is gonna be above the pan a little bit, it'll let that air circulate through the bacon and let it brown better. So I have my pan here lined with foil, and you can see I have all of my Smokies skewered, and I have the skewers of like where they're hitting both sides of the pan, so they're not letting the Smokies touch the bottom. And I need a cup of brown sugar. I don't have any brown sugar right now, so this is 2 cups of granulated sugar. I'm gonna make some brown sugar with some sugar and molasses. I'm gonna mix this up, and then I'm gonna use a cup of this for these, and then I'm gonna save the other cup for some other things that I'm gonna be doing. So if you're ever in a pinch like that, you're out of brown sugar, it's very easy to make it with just some regular sugar and then about a tablespoon per cup of molasses. So here's the brown sugar all mixed up. So I'm gonna add some black pepper. If you are using peppered bacon, you can skip this step. So these are gonna go in a preheated 350-degree oven until the bacon is fried and crisp and they're all caramelized and yummy looking. Okay, so now I'm gonna work on the sauce for the Smokies and meatballs. I'm gonna start with some of the brown sugar that I just made. Half a cup maybe. And then we're gonna add some Worcestershire sauce, some soy sauce, some ketchup. I am going to use about 2 cups. So there's just a little bit left in here, so I'll probably get another one. And then some onion powder, probably about a teaspoon, maybe a teaspoon and a half. Some minced garlic, and it's about probably a teaspoon too. Some crushed red pepper, maybe about half a teaspoon of that. Again, I never really measure, so I don't know. Some ginger, and this is definitely about a teaspoon of ginger. I love ginger. Fresh ginger's the best, but when you don't have access, this is also good. And Spice House does have some really great ginger. Then we're gonna add some chili powder, and this is about a teaspoon. Some black pepper, probably about half a teaspoon of black pepper. And then some red wine vinegar, and that will be about a teaspoon as well. So just gonna get that mixed up. I am going to pull out the meatballs from the freezer that you saw me make a little earlier in the clip, and they're frozen. I'm just gonna drop them in frozen and then add the little Smokies to that, and then we'll add the sauce back in, and then I'll just have that simmer on low until everything else is ready. These are really good. This is like my favorite thing to have at Christmas Eve is meatballs and Smokies. Now we'll get started on the sausage cheese balls, and this is just the Bisquick recipe. I don't use Bisquick though, I make my own. So I added 3 cups of flour, a tablespoon of baking powder, 4 tablespoons of shortening, and then now I'm picking up with the rest of the Bisquick recipe, but I will link that below. This is some Parmesan cheese. I think it was about half a cup. I can't remember the recipe, but I'll link it below. And then some milk, and then we'll add some rosemary. And parsley. And mix that up first, and then you can use your bulk sausage. I'm just going to use a pound of this Jimmy Dean, and it's regular. It's not spicy, but you could also do spicy if you wanted. So then I'm going to add the cheddar cheese. I'm pretty sure it was 2 cups, but I can't really remember. But I'm just going to, I shredded this, well, my husband actually shredded this for me, but we're going to add the cheddar back in and then mix it up and get it onto the pan, and I'll use my cookie scoop for that. You could also do it by hand. By the time I was at the bottom of this, I was using my hand to kind of get everything together, so you certainly could roll them by hand. It's a little easier to do it with the cookie scoop, I think, but either way, it all will turn out good. So here they are before they go into the oven. And then this is once they have come out of the oven. Yummy, yummy. Thank y'all so much for joining me today on this Christmas Eve, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit that like button, subscribe to see more videos like this, and I will see you next time. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.